What's up, Starbro? My name is Shaman Esme, and you're here on Activate with Shaman Esme, my platform centered around self-exploration, makeup, and metaphysics. Today's video is a storytime groom video, and I will be vlogging in this video about my second class day, my second workshop day, with points of view in their new Fusion Workshop collection. Today's workshop was titled Coaching Basics. Before we get into that story, I'm going to give you a minute to click subscribe, click the bell, set a reminder so you don't miss out on content with me, and I'll see you soon. Alright, so today's video, like I said, is going to be a storytime groom. I'm going to be vlogging about what I came into myself when I was doing the workshop today, as well as where I was at in my day, what was going on in my head while I was going through the workshop, and how it's going to impact my life, what it's going to do for me. So, a little bit about myself. I am a shaman in training. Shamans are, well, we are people who have a very specific task. Our three tasks are: one, we act as conduits for ancestors. So a shaman is someone who connects their ancestors to the community, making sure that the ancestors in the community are always in communication with each other. Number two, we throw rituals. We are the ritual setters for the community to build a spirit world together. And number three, we're healers. So for me, my mantra, my code, my creed on this planet, my mission on this planet is to heal and be healed. Today I'm wearing navy blue and red. I have on a really cute navy blue, like, fairy skirt. I don't know how else to put it. And it is kind of warm for this outfit, but I will not be deterred. I look wonderful. So I really like this color scheme because it's kind of unique, and that's how I felt about points of view. I feel like points of view is unique, and I felt like this color combination is classic but unique, so I thought I would wear it. I'm going to choose between a few palettes. I'm going to stick to this color story and see if I can pull off my own navy blue and red color story. So I'm going to be using the Alien Cosmetics All I Ever Wanted palette. I'm going to be using the Ninydrin palette by Adept Cosmetics. And for my gorgeous inner corner moments, I'm going to be using the Glisten and ClayDrop collaboration wet liner palettes, specifically this one right here. I did get some new brushes and this really cute bag to keep them in. So I'm going to be trying out these brushes for the first time. Let's see what they work like. Let's see what they do for me. And let's get ready to rumble. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to just completely disclose the truth. This morning, I completely forgot that I had points of view class today. I really did. I woke up like I always do, bright and early, but I woke up a little bit later than I usually do. I usually wake up around 7, and today I woke up at 8. So I woke up super fast, and I immediately felt it in my bones. Something's not right. I felt a disturbance in the force, and of course I always check my email first thing in the morning. There was my point in 1 hour. Let's get ready. We're gonna have class in an hour email. Yo, I got off that toilet so fast. I brushed my teeth so fast, put my hair in the sloppiest bun. I went to class in my pajamas. I am so grateful that every time I log into a points of view, the masters are always like, who cares what you're wearing? We are just gonna flow. Everyone all over the world is participating. Don't worry about what you're wearing, just tap in. And I tapped in this morning in my pajamas. They weren't even cute pajamas. I don't know. today we got to meet with Coach May. I've never met with Coach May before, so that was super exciting. She is a really informative person who has a lot to share, I can tell. And it was hard to get everything she wanted to share with us in the hour and a half that we had. But I'm glad that like these classes are ongoing. I'm gonna have a lot more time to connect with her. So today's session was about talking about the goal of coaching. The goal is, to bring the best out in people. And the question that came to my mind, the question that was asked to the group was like, how do you feel coaching? Who do you feel comfortable coaching? And to be honest, there are some people that I don't feel comfortable coaching. And it's because of experience. It really is. So it is kind of awkward for me to talk about this. I never thought I would be like actually talking about this story, but yeah, I'm willing to coach older people. I'm willing to coach a boss. I'm willing to coach someone that is in a position of leadership over me. I feel like that's okay for me. That's not that big of a deal for me. What is a big deal for me when it comes to coaching, though, is people who don't want to do the work. And I guess it's obvious, like plain and simple, like you can't coach someone who just doesn't care. Like you can't care more than them. And I find it very difficult to coach people who experience resistance to work, experiencing resistance to change. Like if you come to me for life coaching and if I challenge you and if I hear resistance, I do feel like I get turned off. I have yet to learn how to take that resistance and turn it into some tool that allows me to help people who are resistant. And I guess, there's a level of resistance. There is resistance that is expected, and then there's resistance that, well, quite frankly, doesn't suit nobody. And if you're experiencing that resistance where I could tell you're just like unsure, you're not used to the things that I'm saying, that's fine. I could deal with that. That's expected. If you're just the type of person that like just plain and simple, like you want all the answers, like I'm not the one. I'm not the one for you. I don't have all the answers. And I realize that I don't have all the answers, and that's why I'm moving on from reading tarot cards to actually like life coaching. There's a difference. When you're reading tarot, you have all the answers, baby. People come to you, they pay you literally to tell them all the answers. And I don't have all the answers, and I don't want to have all the answers. So I got into life coaching, and I really see a difference in my life being a life coach versus a tarot reader. And I like using tarot as tools. I know lots of therapists who use tarot as tools to connect with others, and I still use those tools to connect. But I'm not trying to tell you, or anybody for that matter, that I have all the answers. I do not. So those are one group of people that I do not feel like I am open to leading. Another group of people that I'm not really open to leading, and this comes with a sticky subject, I'm not gonna lie, this is a personal story, are fundamentalists, okay? Okay, I'm not a therapist and I'm not a pastor, and I find it hard to coach certain fundamentalists who exhibit a lack of critical thinking. They also exhibit, in my opinion, an insecure attachment to their deity. So there's lots of different types of fundamentalists, And fundamentalists come in all different layers of acceptance. They all have different attachment styles, how they see the world. And a person who has a secure attachment with their God, it's just plain and simple. If I don't ring true for them, they're not going to come to me, right? And that's okay. That's how it should be. But in my business, in my experience, in my working experience, I've encountered some fundamentalist, born-again Christian young people who come to me for assistance with coaching. And let this be known, I really love Jesus. I really do. There's nothing wrong with loving Jesus Christ. At the same time, I don't let any traditions, okay? Again, traditions get in the way of my development with the universe. And I have found that some people who are not so certain of their faith will come to me, and when I introduce myself as a shaman, and I introduce myself in my honesty and my authenticity for what I value, what I do, and how I thrive, I get yes ma'amed to death and then ghosted. And this is usually because the young person will tell me that they follow Jesus and that they've decided that Jesus wouldn't like what they're doing. Now, when I hear that, there is a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. I realize this is also resistance. Okay? And the knee-jerk reaction happens because, plain and simple, as a shaman, I'm tasked with creating rituals to connect people with the spirit world. But I do not classify myself as a witch. And it's hard for me to spend all of this time helping people plan, helping people, holding people accountable, showing people information that challenges their resistance, creating, life plans, etc. Just all of this work, doing all of that work for someone who's just going to be like, you're a witch, I don't want to work with you, Jesus doesn't like this. And, it just hits me in the wrong way because, like I said, I love Jesus, and I feel very strongly like Jesus loves me too. In fact, I feel very confident, 100% confident, that this is exactly what Jesus wants me to be. So I just let Jesus take them where they feel Jesus wants them to be, and I mind my own business. But I have developed a little bit of a wall. I have developed a little bit of a wall when it comes to helping fundamentalist young people life plan. And what I think is really questionable is, like, where does the witchcraft enter? I don't know. I do use tarot cards, but I use them with people who like to do those types of things. And I do not believe I can tell the future, nor do I believe anyone can tell the future. But because I am a master pattern tracker, I can tell you a lot about yourself, and I can definitely talk to you about things that maybe you haven't thought of before. Maybe point out a different point of view that you haven't accepted as a possibility. And that is because the back of our brain, the subconscious mind, is picture driven. That was some of the first language on this planet that was developed, was using pictures instead of written letters to write. So the back of our brains are just plain and simple better at noticing pictures, and the back of our brain is also like the lizard brain or the monkey brain. That's the part of our brain that drives most of our impulses. So the front of our brain speaks language, the back of our brain likes pictures. That's why we like TV. That's also why we like music. And, that's why we like both. And there's not one better than the other. It's because, like, plain and simple, the brain has different languages that it speaks. So when we're getting to the back of the brain, it's just easier to show it pictures, which is why I like points of view, because they use phototherapy. Where do I find me being a witch? I don't know. Do I feel like Jesus doesn't like life coaches? Absolutely not. Do I feel like perhaps the people who have come to me and have showed me these experiences have some sort of insecure attachment style to Jesus? Absolutely. Because like I said, if you felt like Jesus wouldn't have liked that, you wouldn't have wasted my time for months on end and then decided, whew, I don't like this resistance, I'm gonna dip. To me, it's just a little suspect. It's a little suspect. Okay, so that's that. So yes, that's that. And now we're gonna get into the other questions. Like, we learned about, what is the agenda of a coach. So when you go to a coach, it's important for you to recognize that your vision for your life is so much more important than what anyone else could ever tell you. If you're the type of person who wants all of the answers, life coaching is not for you, because life coaches, plain and simple, we don't have all the answers, and we never will. And that's how it's supposed to be. But when you are doing coaching, it is expected that you grow with the person, you learn with the person, you explore yourself in tandem with the other person exploring themselves. You just kind of do it quietly and let them talk, You notice where you're experiencing resistance. You notice where you've put up walls. But where the focus is not on you, it's on them. Because you're the coach, when you see those walls, you might notice they might have those walls as well. If they don't, that's fine. Accept that they're different people. But at the end of the day, when you're coaching, the agenda has to be to just acknowledge and appreciate the fact that that person wants to work with you, and that person is coming to you in trust to better themselves, and you have an obligation to honor that trust. So I just did some priming of the eyes, and now I'm going to try to create this red and blue look. I think I'm going to do like a cat's eye with just like a pop of color, and then I don't know exactly yet, but I know I'm going to use this palette. This ACI 21 I feel like is a perfect navy blue color. So I'm gonna get a lot of that on my brush and get started sketching out this look. So yeah, acknowledging and appreciating the client as someone who is coming to you for help. They're coming to you for help. They want your help. They don't want to be talked at. They don't want to be preached at. And they know that they need help. They know that they need help. They know that you know more than they do about planning a life. And so, what gives me the idea that I am qualified to be a life coach is that I have literally changed my life in so many drastic ways, putting one foot in front of the other, hard work, planning, dedication. I was severely abused as a child in all of the ways a person could be abused. My parents changed my religion endlessly. I went from being a Pentecostal Christian as I was baptized to being an Orthodox Jew. Literally, my parents converted when I was 10, and by the time I was 17, I was having Shabbos dinner in a Chabad. A Chabad is a group of people who are Hasidic, so that means they're ultra Orthodox, and they can be really open to converts. If you want to convert, it's kind of tricky to do so because all Jewish people have access to the state of Israel, and they want to make sure that you're actually converting to Judaism. Judaism is not the easiest religion to convert to. Oh no, I did my eyeshadow wrong. Okay, I'm gonna have to change it. Oh well. Yeah. So Judaism is not the easiest religion to convert to, and in fact it's quite hard. And my parents decided they were going to do that during my lifetime, and I went from being a Christian to a Jew, and I'm actually okay with it. I got to learn a lot. I got to connect with the universe in some really unique ways, and I learned that the universe will never be limited by religion, like ever. The universe will never be limited by religion. God will never be limited by traditions. God is within all of us. We are God. We are filled with God. God permeates us. Each and every one of our cells has something inside of it called a mitochondria. And the mitochondria actually used to exist outside of our bodies, but eventually at one point became a part of us, but it has its own RNA and DNA. It's completely separate from us, and that's God. The mitochondria is amazing because our bodies, our cells, in order to grow, in order to live, it has to create a certain energy called ATP, and that is created in the mitochondria. But the mitochondria is completely separate from us. Not only that, the mitochondria cannot be created or destroyed. It's just like energy, like literally true energy. There is yet to be anything that humans know can destroy the mitochondria. So that means that every single cell of our bodies has a piece of God in it. It has a piece of the universe, a piece of the unknown, something alien, something other, something divine that gives us energy to recreate our cells, to grow, to move, to eat, to reproduce, to experience color, to spread eyeshadow all over our faces, and to exclaim to the world, we're wonderful. Like, none of those things would be possible. Loving Jesus wouldn't be possible. Being a part of the universe wouldn't be possible. Sitting at Shabbos with your family wouldn't be possible if we didn't have these little pieces of God inside of us that literally connect all of us together. That's what makes us human. It's amazing. So when I think down deep about how interconnected each person is, it makes me feel in love with the universe, and that makes me feel capable of acknowledging and appreciating people who are just like really different from me, and using my technical know-how of being successful in life. I'm a successful person. It just clicks. It just clicks for me. So that's how I feel about my calling for being a shaman as well as a life coach. I just feel like I have the desire, I'm filled with the need to appreciate others and also redirect some, but always to heal and be healed. So yeah, I think earlier today I also talked about the walls that I felt. I did feel some walls with some people who, felt like, or, believed that the universe, the divinity of the universe can only be experienced through one avenue. I think it's just like, I don't like being called names, and I'm not a witch, so it's just a little hard for me to like deal with that. But those are my walls. You can see my walls. Some other walls that I have are Let's say I suffer from imposter syndrome sometimes. I have teachers, and I still suffer from imposter syndrome. I always feel like, am I doing enough? And that's why I'm still a shaman in training. Because I still have to learn how to get a certain part of me to accept that the 3D world is not the world that I actively thrive in. The 3D world, to me, is a world that shows the results of the 5D world that I reside in. So residing in the 5D is like a super new age term that I use for saying, like, plain and simple, I just don't pay attention to the mundane. Yes, the mundane happens around me, but my goal is to make the mundane sacred in every single moment of my life. And when I live that way, I see a consistent thread of success and happiness in the mundane. So that's how I classify that. And some of the walls that I experience come from jumping from the mundane into the spirit and back again. I can have a little trouble with that. I really can. And that's a place where I am looking forward to growing. These eyeshadows are so pretty. So I've created like a blue, like, graphic eye. Super pretty. I don't want to put any purple though in that. I really don't. I want to keep it nice and blue. So walls are, just something that all people make. Coaches are people and they make walls too. And usually walls are made to protect yourself. So usually you want to protect yourself from something that you've experienced in the past. So like I said, in the past I've experienced difficulties with fundamentalists, young fundamentalists who call me a witch. And it's triggered me because I'm not a witch. And I don't like being called a witch for some reason. I don't know why. Well, maybe there's nothing wrong with being called a witch. It's just like, it's not what I do. I'm a shaman, guys. Get it right, Like, imagine, like, if you're a janitor and someone calls you, like, a cleaning lady. You're gonna be like, no, I'm not that. Like, chill. That's how I feel. It's a bit much, honestly. It really is a bit much. I think I can be flexible and acknowledge what they're saying to me is that they don't feel like Jesus would like what I talk about. And I do talk about other religions. I do point out that Jesus can be found in lots of different cultures because the energy of love is not exclusive to Christianity. It's really not. And I guess that's where I lose them. So my walls are definitely around people who can't honor me. I'm a little cautious around someone who I feel, based on my own biases, will not be able to honor my sacrifice, my craft, or who I am as a person. So this is real deep, honestly, guys. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm going to share my walls a little further. As a person who was baptized and then converted, it is extremely hard to talk to Christians about the fact that Jesus was a Jew. And it is extremely difficult to talk to anybody about the fact that Jesus actually liked being a Jew. I get kickback. I get a lot of pushback from both sides. Speaking to Jews, they'll be like, don't talk about Jesus. And that makes sense. Why does it make sense for Jews? Because plain and simple, we got holocausted for not wanting to convert multiple times. There was the Inquisition in Spain. There was the literal Holocaust. There have been so many pogroms against Jews for just having our own identity that, like, plain and simple, they don't care. They don't want to hear it. Okay, that's nice. But if that person had never happened, we wouldn't be here right now. And that's how they see it. And then for Christians, it's usually like, oh, well, Jesus destroyed the old ways. We don't want to listen to any of that because, you know, that's what Jesus wanted to get rid of. But, like, if you read the Bible, there's nowhere, anywhere where Jesus says anything about wanting to get rid of anything. Rather, historically, Rome as an empire took over a lot of lands, and there was a lot of people grouped together. When Rome would take over a country, Rome would allow everyone to continue their religions as they wanted. They were an empire, and they were smart in their heads. They decided, I'm not going to argue with people about what their religions are. Everyone do their own thing, but do not get smart with Rome. So Rome had like these soldiers called centurions, and they would tour the empire of Rome, and they would keep notes on what groups of people were causing disturbances. And when Rome would take over an area, it would often be that all of the people who got taken over had to travel with the centurions too. And the centurion would keep track of everything. If you became difficult, or if your religion became a problem to Rome, that was it. Rome at the time of Jesus was dealing with the cult of Dionysus, which is the last Greek cult. It's like the most secretive cult because, quite frankly, Rome squashed it to bits with Jesus, and it went underground. It was already underground, but it went even further underground and melded with the Gnostic movement, which formed Christianity. Talking about these facts just does not fly well. It does not fly well with certain Christian types. There are certain Christian types who will be like, oh my gosh, you're so smart, you should teach my Bible class. And I'd be like, no, I really don't want to teach your Bible class because I love the world, the whole world, all of the people in it, and I can find love in a defined form in all people, regardless of race or creed. So my walls, these are just my walls. This is just what I've experienced life coaching since I've started. I had clients. This was a predominant portion of my clients were born again Christians, and then there became a theme. So I'm just sharing with you my walls, okay? I just want to protect myself, and in order to get over that, I feel like it's important to open up and to share. So walls can block coaching because it alters a person's agenda. If someone has an agenda, then plain and simple, you're just not listening to the other person. You're judging them. And you're judging someone who's coming to you for a judgment-free zone. You know, they know. If you go to a life coach, you know the reason why you're going to that life coach. If you had it all together yourself, you wouldn't be there. But someone who is seeking life coaching, they do know. They do know that you are better at life than they are. I hate to say that, better at life. It's such a weird way to say that. They know that you have strategies for living a successful life that they would like to learn more about. I think that's a much more kosher way of saying that, okay? So excuse my folly in putting those sentences together. That was an awkward sentence, but I think I get my point across of how important it is to not judge. It's super important to recognize that as a coach, your goal is to like literally just accept and acknowledge and listen to people and give them strategy. you know, and you can grow with them. You can show them your true self. You're not a therapist, so it's not like you have to keep everything under wraps like a therapist does. You do have the ability to share what you experience, to share how you've grown, to share a strategy that you have, and to be honest and open with that person about your skills, what you're capable of and what you're not capable of, what you've been through and where you haven't been, what you did when you were in that position and how it helped you, you know. And it's important to have those types of connections, because when you are a life coach, you are in a very, very special place in somebody's life. You are in a position where you can be a container for their emotions. You can be a container for their emotions, and you can also be a role model to them. You can be a role model and help that person develop strategies like their parents would have done if their parents had the ability to. Because, you know, everyone's parents actually are doing their best. And I say that with my tongue firmly implanted in my cheek. Yes, some people do need to realize that their parents doing their best is still not good enough. And some people also have to recognize that their parents are not interested in doing their best, they're just interested in doing them, and that doesn't work very well for raising children. Both of those scenarios are true. At the end of the day, though, a narcissist hates themselves. Do they want to hate themselves? No. So they really are doing their best. Their best is just toxic to the rest of the world. Being a life coach is just so special. You get this relationship with someone who looks up to you but also is equal to you. You'll never be better than anybody. Just because you know a strategy to life does not mean you're better than them. And it just means that you have tried certain strategies, kept track of certain strategies that make a person feel better in their present life. They've helped them feel more confident in their present life, help them achieve their goals, and at the same time, connect with that person. Teach that person. Feel that person out and give them something to remember, something to live for. Challenge that person and show them that they are capable of doing better. Breathe imagination into that person and show them a different way of believing. Just tap into the love that person needs and be the role model that they crave to have. Being a coach is super special. It's a really unique position. It's like really unique because I don't know many other professions. I really don't. I don't know many other professions where you get to connect with people this viscerally, at the same time growing, knowing that you're not the expert. You'll never be an expert at life. No one ever will be. But we are successful people, and we don't have to gatekeep that success. That successful information can be shared, and we're going to share it. That's super cool. Oh, wow. This looks really intense and kind of glorious. This is giving me some serious like 80s David Bowie vibes. Is David Bowie from the 80s? I think so. I don't remember. But for some reason, this is giving me some serious David Bowie vibes. It's just like so bright and like primal. The bright blue and the bright red is very primal to me. This little, there's like strawberries imprinted on the shadows, but this one is so soft, I've eaten the strawberry. Now it's completely flat. And it's my first time using the strawberry milkshake pan. Like, it's the first time I've used this eyeshadow palette. So, I love it already. It's just like really pretty and bright. This is kind of like way more intense than I thought I was gonna end up with. Like, I thought I was just gonna end up like on one like low. I was just gonna do like a little low look. But this is easily getting much more editorial than I thought it was gonna be. I'm okay for it. I'm just here experimenting. I'm using Ninydrin from Adept Cosmetics and Unearthly Cosmetics. So when we were in class today, I noticed how joyful and loving the points of view classes are, just the workshops, always filled with joy, filled with love, filled with togetherness. And I think that's my favorite thing about points of view, is just how lovely it is to connect with people who, well, for lack of a better term, they just love the world too. They love the world too, and it spans the globe. Points of view is worldwide. It spans the globe. And what I really like about points of view is the opportunity to learn better coping strategies, better coaching strategies. I love the ability to connect with people all over the world who are like-minded. They want to grow too. They want to love too. They want to be attuned to the universe. And the universe is global, man. No one has a monopoly on the universe. Nobody. The universe is global. It's for everyone. Love is for everyone. Everyone needs love. There is nobody on this planet who wants to be disconnected from love. Okay? And I really like points of view because points of view is unexpectedly precise. And it has a unique format. And the format of points of view is pause, expand, focus, do. So when we're coaching with a points of view formula, we're going to take a pause. We're going to expand our imagination using the coaching tools. We're going to focus on what we got out of that process, and then we're going to make a plan to execute that process in real time. And it's very effective. It is very effective. Like, and just like easy too, like easy to bring up, easy to see the results in. It's lovely. I really dig it. I really do dig it. So, you know, as you're going through coaching, you're going to come across people who have the same issues as you've had. And one of the things we went over today is unhooking ourselves from other people's experiences, letting them have the time and not interrupting, not talking over, not expecting people to be you, which is actually harder than it sounds. So I don't know about you, but I have experienced people who say they want to help me, but like they can't stop judging me because I'm going to do things differently than they are. I don't really vibe with those types. I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't. Why don't I? Well, because I want to do things my way, and I don't want to be judged. No one likes being judged, but everyone judges. That's how things are. It's important to recognize that everyone judges. If you're not aware of where you're judging, that's a problem as a coach. Because people are going to come to you, and sometimes what they have to say reminds you of yourself, but they're not you, and they're not going to handle it the way you handle things. And sometimes people are going to tell you things that remind you of yourself, but they don't see it that way. And they don't see it at all as a problem, or they don't see it as a solution. They don't see themselves able to navigate that situation the way you would have. That can feel weird. So it's important to unhook yourself from Well, it's important to hook yourself from your expectations of your clients. If you're feeling like you're getting emotionally involved, that's where you need to separate your involvement from their need to create trust with you. And it's all because you want to create trust. That's the hope, is that, like, well, I want this person to trust me, and they're not going to trust me if I'm judging them. They're not going to trust me if I'm not giving them helpful advice that actually relates to them, not how I want things done or not how I would have done something. Feel me? It's a big vibe. It's a big mood. Like, you be here trying to, like, coach someone to kingdom come, and you're like, why is this person not excelling? Well, are you actually coaching them? Or are you just so locked on to how you would have done it when you were in this position, you know, that you just plain and simple lose sight of the focus. You lose sight of the program. You lose sight of their vision for their life. You lose sight of the separation, the distinction between you and them. You know, you start projecting all over them. And then you wonder, like, why is this person not thriving? Or why does this person not want to talk to me? Or why does this person not take my advice? And then it's just plain and simple. Did you create the trust with them to do that? Did you create with them the trust to, like, build that spirit world with them? Like, you're not building the spirit world with them. That's why. We have to work towards building the spirit world together. And the way you can build the spirit world with your clients during life coaching is by unhooking yourself from your need to dominate the spirit world. Let them color in the world. Let them name the world. Let them put together the pieces and, you know, give them the acclamation that they need. Give them the validation that they need. Be there to acknowledge their process. Be there as a co-conspirator. But remember that this is not your story. This is not your story, and it's never going to be your story. You are going to get none of the credit for their life, and that is the way it's supposed to be. Coaching, there are no queens. When you are there as a trusted advisor to somebody else's psychological growth and development, spiritual growth and development, there is no deity. There is no dignitary. There is no monarch. There is no emperor. You are not better than them. You just simply know a strategy that you're not going to gatekeep so that they can feel number one. And they're going to take the credit for their success, not you. It has nothing to do with you. Actually, this looks kind of cool. Like, I don't know. It's kind of wild. This look is really wild. I would never, like, I would never think I would wear this look. I'm not gonna lie. This look is, like, kind of crazy. I did not think that this is the kind of look that I was gonna come up with, but I just rolled with it. I'm gonna just finish up the inner corners. Ooh. It's kind of crazy. Like, okay, it's just, like, so Superman because it's, like, bright red, bright blue, and it gives sparkles. It's, like, kind of crazy how sparkly this look is, but also, like, I would never recreate it. I would never recreate this look ever again. When I try to do these colors again, I'm gonna do them way differently because, you know, this is just a little too wild for me. I'm not gonna lie. I love playing with colors though, so it's so much fun to, like, I don't know, tap into your creativity and like vibe with yourself. I'm here for that. I'm always here for that. So yeah, let's see what's next on my learning thing. All right, so then we talked about, like, when you're coaching, you're either hearing two things, okay? You're either going to be hearing results or you're going to be hearing resistance. You know, reasons why they can't do what you guys planned, reasons why it's not the right time, all of these reasons why. And in life, it's imperative to grab the bull by the horns. We are not guaranteed not 1 second in this life. You never know when it's going to be your last breath. And that's the truth. Okay, that is the honest to God truth. Nobody knows when their number's up. So if you're hearing resistance or reasons why they can't put plans into action, we can almost be guaranteed that there's some insecurities there that we need to work through with them. So we can focus on, like, what do we hear them saying, okay? Are we hearing them saying, oh, this is the results of that exercise, it worked or it didn't work? Or are we hearing them being like, it's not the right time, I haven't done this yet, I'm not open to doing this yet, what's going on? Like, what is your resistance? For me, life coaching, my resistance, my reason is that I'm not moving forward with life coaching at the pace that I think I should or that I crave to, because I feel like I'm not qualified enough to help people. After doing life coaching and podcasting for a year, last year, for free, I got to meet a lot of people who wanted my help. And they would come to me and I would pour out my heart and soul and energy for them, but they wanted it for free. And I do not work for free. But under certain circumstances, I will help people out, you know? God has shown me that I can, the divine universe has shown me that I can just rest easy. And that financial success is mine for the taking. So when I would create contracts with people and get paid for them, and they showed me a lack of work ethic, I would drop them. And I would get discouraged because I was like, why even pay that much money, however much money that is, and then like not show up, not put in the work, not put in the effort? Like, why am I doing more work than you are, and it's your life that I'm coaching, you know? That makes no sense. And I felt like, oh, maybe I'm not capable. Maybe I'm not capable of helping them. Maybe I'm not qualified enough. Oh, la 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 la, all of these little ideas. No, the reality is that I'm afraid. I'm afraid of exposing myself, and I have imposter syndrome just like everybody else. And it shows. That's my reason. So when you're dealing with somebody who's giving you reasons, not results, you know, we want to ask ourselves, like, what's going on in their head? Like, what's going on? What do they know? Like, what are they thinking? What are they going to do about it? These are just questions that you can ask yourself instead of judging them. Being like, oh, so-and-so didn't pay me this week for what? Like, you know, are they going to put in the work? Like, whatever. No, we could just be like, why? What? Where is it going to, when is it going to happen? What's going on? What's holding them back? What are they thinking? What do they know? Where are they in their mentality? What's their frame of mind? These are all questions you can ask that are much better than just judging someone. So, you know, why I'm coaching is because I want to heal, and because I want to be healed. And I am also fulfilling a desire to, well, to connect with people in that healing energy and that healing force. Yeah, that's, like, for me, the number one. So I'm going to step off camera. I'm going to finish this face, and then we're going to get back into this video. We're going to get into the cards that I pulled. It's going to be a quick 20-minute conversation about the art of listening, okay? See you soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back. I have finished my face. I like it. I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Let's take my glasses off so you can see. Kind of cleaned it up a little bit. It's definitely Superman colors, and I really like these shadows. Is this my favorite look that I've ever created? Probably not, but I really like this color scheme. This red and blue color scheme reminds me, and this is why I dressed in these colors today for this video, it reminds me that I can't be anybody's Superman. You know, I'm not going to be anybody's superhero, but at the same time, I am very smart. These colors are also the colors of one of my favorite dragons in the Magic the Gathering universe, okay? And the number 2 spot goes to, actually, I think it's the number 3 spot. Yeah, Nicol Bolas is first, Hellkite Overlord is second, and then third is Niv Mizzet the Firemind, whose color scheme in Magic the Gathering is blue and red. So these are why I chose these colors. Niv Mizzet is a genius dragon, and the reason why I chose these colors is because I want to tap into the acknowledgement that I can't save nobody from themselves, okay? I cannot save anyone from themselves, but I am smart, so I can strategize with people about their life. So that's my little color inspiration story for today. And I really like these eyeshadows. A very unique look. I know that the camera can't get how brilliant red these shadows are and how deep blue, but you know what? I see it and I love it. So we're gonna get into the art of listening, and the first card I pulled with the concept of like, what happy vibes do you bring to class today, was this card here. So I was told to pick a card from the coaching game that describes my happy energy vibes for today, and I chose this card. And in this card we can see there is a person picking out sweets. They're in a marketplace full of sweets, and the card is titled Choices. So the reason why I have a happy vibe today is because I have a lot of choices to make in my life, and it makes me happy that I have so many opportunities for choices. And I also get to choose the people who I want to coach, and that's super exciting. The second card I chose was a face down card. I let my intuition guide me. And this spoke to life challenges in my life. You know, what events occurred in my life that were just major turning points for me. So this card presented itself face down to me, and I see in it a balanced ship. At first sight, it looks like a shipwreck, but from far away, you notice it's not a shipwreck. Actually, it's a shipyard, and there's 2 people enjoying this scenery. There's a ship in the background that they're watching. This train wreck is actually with the flow of purpose. And I've experienced a really hard life. I am a survivor of intense child abuse. And I always thought I was going to be a doctor. I actually know I'm supposed to be a doctor, and my horoscope has it that I've always been a doctor. So this time around in life, I'm not a doctor. But that doesn't mean that I'm separate from that desire to heal or be healed. I feel that very strongly with this card. I feel like this card represents that balance, that very careful balance that I've achieved for myself. It's a gargantuan effort that has almost whimsical results. Watching this ship be chained sideways for repairs gives the impression of a train wreck. But when you look at it, it's just like the most strategic of balancing acts that actually gives a lot of weight to the skill and the technical know-how for the person who is balancing all of that. And then last, I picked a card face down that represents me, what inspires me, what motivates me. And the card that I picked is this one right here. We can see a cat, and he's drinking out of the faucet, and the card is titled Solutions. Okay, so the ship one is called Balance and this one is called Solutions. And I wanted to put this card to the side, but I didn't. I took the card, I accepted the card, and I recognized myself in the spirit animal, the cat. Now cats, let's get my journal out. Do I have it? Do I have access to my, aha, here it is. Cats are really magical creatures. In Egyptian mythology, the cat goddess was named Bastet, and she was the protector of women and children, similar to Diana, the goddess of the hunt. And is it Scandinavian? I know in Norse mythology, the goddess Freya, or the goddess Frigg in Germanic mythology, also had a special affinity with cats. And cats are magical creatures that can see the spirit world unfolding in front of us. And they have gigantic territories, and they've domesticated humans, and they find expert solutions to all of their problems. This cat clearly is satisfied with his solution, and he has, I bet, lots of solutions under his ears, under his whiskers, I don't know, under his paws, This little cat has many solutions under his paws. He's a smart boy. He's chill, he's enjoying this drink of water, and then speaks to me of my desire to quench humanity's lack of love. I want to spread love. I want to spread loving awareness. I want to spread beauty. I want to spread the message of truth and justice, but mostly love. Love, 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 because love heals. Love is a healing force, and this cat is just thoroughly enjoying the fruits of his success, and that is something that inspires me as well, to find solutions, to tap into the quenching energy of sharing. Just like this water is sharing its nourishing qualities with the cat. And I also would like to be inspired by the universe to take chances, to go out of my way to find unlikely solutions. And I find motivation in this card to step out of my comfort, because I doubt this cat is very comfortable. I bet that this cat chased the smell of water for how long, I don't know, but when they found it, that was it. Nourishing, refreshing, quenching water. That is how I feel like people come to me when they're searching for the spirit world, and I seek to be this spigot of water for all the people who are thirsty for the spirit world, thirsty for connection, thirsty for acceptance, thirsty for validation, people who need to feel the magic. Yeah, that's it. That's what inspires me and motivates me. I can't be your Superman. I never will be able to be a superhero. I'm not perfect, and I don't have any special powers yet. I know I can challenge you, as you can challenge me, to cultivate a new point of view and to find solutions to problems, to quandaries, to events in life that we don't know how to deal with. So that brings me to the end of Coaching Basics. It's just an overview of how I view the concept of coaching, what brings me to it, a little bit of my history, as well as some fun with makeup. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to click subscribe so you can stay tuned to more content created by yours truly. Have a great day.